Hello, grace and peace, and welcome to spreadingtruth.com's channel. And thank you for tuning in. Today, you hear that? I want to do a review on the Sisterhood on TLC. That's what I want to do today. So let's go right into it, shall we? Today, let's begin with, this is the second episode review, by the way. Today, I would like to speak about, just in general, about the cast members and some of the things that transpired during episode 2. Delana. She is being introduced in this particular episode as the Christian rocker. We don't want to label people or put labels on people, but just for the sake of describing them, we'll just go ahead and use that as a description. So she was, organizing a little get-together for the ladies, and it was pretty nice, I thought. I like her spirit in this episode. It's just something about her that I really like. She seems to be very authentic and very true and traditional in her beliefs. She prepared a nice little meal and arrangement. I really love the whole thing when she was talking about her husband and obviously her faith and how she felt about her life. And I really liked the dynamic between her and her husband, and the fact that she was so in love with her husband. So kudos to her and everything they're doing. I pray that they have continual success. But one of the things that also intrigued me about her is the fact that she is as traditional as Tara. She is as traditional. I don't know if you noticed, and just a few things that happened. One of the things that I noticed that she's as traditional as Tara is when they were discussing the plastic surgery. I don't know how Tara would feel about the plastic surgery, but I'm assuming that she would feel the same way that Delana feels about it. But the one thing about it is that she didn't, openly express her disagreement regarding the topic. She just kind of shared it in the confessional. And also, when it came to the whole gossip moment, she kind of shut it down. And I really like that about her, that, she knows how to pick and choose her battle. So kudos to Delana, like her spirit. Dominique. Now, Dominique, I really like Dominique. I do. I like, it's different things I like about all the women. But the one thing I like about Dominique is the fact that, she speaks her mind, and she's a free spirit, like in that regard. She doesn't hold back. I like that because she's real in that regard. So I appreciate that about her. But I think that as she was speaking in regards to the situation that occurred in episode 1, I think it was just one huge misunderstanding. Even in regards to the litmus test, I think she misunderstood what Tara was saying in regards to that test and what she meant in regards to that. But her past, I tell you, this episode, those that watched it, you have to watch it because I'm not going to really go into the depth about her past. But in that particular episode, she did explain some of the things that she had struggled with and some of the things that she went through and why she is the way she is today. And wow, she has a very powerful testimony, very dark past that God, through his blood, has allowed her to overcome. So, just powerful. But the one thing I did like is that her husband I tell you, he is so supportive of her, and he is so in love with her, and he so wants the marriage. And my prayers are for her that she would overcome that past thing, even though she's not doing anything anymore. But it's just a struggle, you know what I mean? And Satan has a way of bringing up our past, but we have to shut him down. We have to, if he brings up our past, we have to remind him of his future, and that our past and the things that we've done in our past were thrown into the sea of forgetfulness. We've been washed with the blood. We are new creations. So yeah, sometimes our past will be a thorn in our side, but we cannot allow it to hinder us or to hinder our progress, hinder us going forward in God. So again, she's in my prayers. In regards to Dominique, I really like the fact that she spearheaded getting Tara together and having a conversation about the things and the conversation that did transpire in the last episode showed her maturity in that regard. I really love the kitty spot. It was so cute. But in there, she tried to reconcile, and I like the way the ladies agreed to disagree, because you're not going to agree on everything. Everybody has their own feelings, their own assessments, their own whatever. But the fact that they're able to agree to disagree. But I like the fact that Dominique pointed out to Tara that there are things that each and every one of us that we're yet struggling with, and the fact that Tara is so willing willing to, be on guard and fight, has that fight yet in her, she brought that to her attention. So this may be something that Pastor Tara could consider, you know what I mean, when she's dealing with other people, that's something that she has to bring under subjection. Co-pastor Tara, I wanted to talk about her in this regard, the fact that she and her husband was organizing a Christian bar mitzvah, a Christian bar mitzvah, and the family issues in regards to her husband's, family rejecting him because he's now a Christian. Obviously, he was raised a Jew. He's a Jew. That within itself is very heart-wrenching. The fact that your family has rejected you, that's a hard thing. But the fact that he's willing to, forsake all to follow Christ, it just speaks volumes about his spiritual life and his love for God, and Christ. So I really do, kudos to him. In regards to their Christian bar mitzvah, I'm very familiar with bar mitzvah and bat mitzvahs because my faith, we do the same thing. So it's not unusual to me. I know people are like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Well, to me, it makes complete sense because Jesus is a Jew, was a Jew. Children of Israel, came, 12 tribes, one of them being Judah, one of them Jews. So yes, if we associate with Christ, we also associate with being a part of the children of Israel, our father being Abraham, we're grafted in, all that good stuff. So I'm very familiar with that. My son, when he turns 13, he's going to be bar mitzvah as well. If I had a daughter, she would be bat mitzvah. Very familiar with it. So it's not a shock to me. But again, when people are not familiar with the things that you do in terms of your traditions, we just have to learn how to handle that, and I think that's a work in progress for them as well. Not to be defensive, but learning how to explain it in a way that people can get it. So that was one of the things they're doing. But I like the fact that they were organizing their party, and it seems like it's going to be a very nice event. Ivy, I thought that it was very mature for Pastor Tara to step up and try to bring about some reconciliation with Ivy. Obviously, Pastor Tara was very offended, by Ivy and what she said in regards to her effectiveness or lack thereof. And Ivy, I think that, she had a point that, and her point, I think, should be taken into consideration. However, I think the way she went about it, again, it was a big misunderstanding between the two ladies. And I think that because everybody got defensive and because people got offended, I think it just was taken to the next level. But I think, however, with Ivy, she said she was taking the high role and humbling herself, but I would have to disagree with that. I don't think she was being as humble as she thinks she was. Because if she was, she would have led with, it was a misunderstanding. I do apologize. I really didn't mean it in a way. I think the whole tone would have been a little bit different. So I think that's something that she's going to have to work on as well. As far as the accusation in regards to the enemy, being used as an enemy, in the world of Christendom, you do not incite the devil that somebody's being used. Even if that is the case, if you're trying to bring about reconciliation, that's something that you just don't bring up. You know what I mean? Like you're being used. That's just, we know the undertone. He is at the root of everything, especially everything evil or some type, he's the author of confusion. We know the word, but when it comes to trying to bring about reconciliation, if you invoke that, if you say that, cite that, make that terminology, make that statement, you're gonna stir up some strife. People not gonna be like, what? That's not gonna bring about harmony. It's just not. So that's something that she's, again, work in progress. You're gonna have to consider those things. Don't ever go there. You know what I mean? Unless okay. So, and Christian, is it Christian? Yeah, I think it's Christian. Help me if I got that wrong. But, her, again, organizing her teenage daughter's birthday party, I thought that was nice. Her family coming around and all that good stuff. I thought that was great. The dad, the pastor, kind of, inserting himself and his authority in his house. That was interesting. And they were, invited Tara and her family to come, over. And I thought that was nice, but in the conversation is what I want to get to. The conversation regarding the whole bar mitzvah, the whole gospel music thing. Now with the bar mitzvah, I think we all can really take a look at ourselves again. It could be editing. It could be a lot of things that made it look a certain way. But I think that, her family, Christian, I think that they were being a bit judgmental as well. I think that they were kind of, Google-eyeing them in regards to the concept, and I think that Tara and Brian took offense to it. And then their response was also offensive. As far as the gospel music, they were asked a question. And so, you know, they responded. That's what their beliefs are. And I think we have to learn to agree to disagree. There are many different levels in Christendom, as we know, different beliefs within the Christian faith and all that, different levels and different understandings and all of that. We just have to learn to agree to disagree. So what do you think about the whole thing? What do you think? Express your views, share, and let's continue to keep them in prayer. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, God bless.